Welcome to the Why Not podcast with me, Chrissy Hawkins. In a world where everybody asks you why, I'm here to ask why not. So sit back and relax or walk and listen and join me on this journey as we try to answer this never-ending question: what makes people say, why not? Hi guys, welcome back to Why Not. I think I'm getting all the Irish equestrian influencers right now. So today I am joined by Lorraine Cribben, who you might know her on Instagram as Ed the Dun. And I have to admit, right, for some reason, every time I read the name on Instagram, I actually read it as Edith the Hun. So in my head, like, even though I know it's your horse, in my head, your name is Edith. And I'm like, no, it's Lorraine. I have to remind myself that. But firstly, I just want to say welcome to the podcast, Lorraine. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun. So first off, I just want you to let everybody know who you are and what do you do.
So my name is Lorraine, better known as Ed the Dun. I am 28 and I am a veterinary nurse. I'm also an equine photographer, but I do other animals as well. I do like dogs and that, but it's kind of mainly horses. And I am from the west of Ireland.
Nice and concise. How did you actually get into equine photography?
I was always mad for taking pictures when I was younger, like growing up and stuff. I was always the one that had like a camera or a phone camera out. And then I wanted to get like a proper camera. So I got I'll call it a proper camera when I was 18. I got it for my 18th birthday. And I kind of just started taking pictures at the yard. My friends kind of started with my friend Chloe. She's lovely horses. So I just like took her and the other liveries. And it kind of just took off from there. There was like a few like one day events at the yard and stuff. And I was just taking pictures of my friends and that. And then a few people kind of approached me asking me like if I had to do shows and stuff. So yeah, it took off from there. It's been great ever since.
That's brilliant. And like, it's so true though. You know, you take pictures of horses. Like, we used to have people when I was like in the riding club, and there was like one guy who came up with his camera, and like everyone was just like buzzing for him to upload the photos to Facebook.
I know. I'm the same. If anyone ever takes a picture at a show, I'm like dying for them to put it up.
Make sure it's a good one of me.
Yeah, exactly. Make sure you have my good angle.
And would you do like work the shows then, or are you there kind of more as like I suppose like a photographer for the show, or are you there as like the person who sells the pictures at the show? I think is the best way of saying it.
So I'd be hired by people that. Yeah.
And is it like, do they privately hire you, or would the show hire you?
It would be the show that would hire.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's really cool. How do you find doing that? And like, because obviously photography and veterinary nursing are two different things. How would you kind of say the biggest difference, or maybe in similarities between the two of them?
I suppose like the similarities are like you're working with animals. Now when I'm doing the nursing, I'm only working with small animals, so I don't see any horses. So they're similar, but they're also obviously very different as well. But I absolutely love because I work like it's kind of like Monday to Friday, and like I do some Saturdays, but I wouldn't normally work a Sunday unless I'm on call. Which is every like 2 months or something like that, like once every 6 weeks. So it kind of works out well, like because most shows are on a Sunday, so it works out well that I'm able to attend most of those shows.
So you don't take days off as well?
Not I try not. Like well in advance, but I try not to, because to be honest, it just work out well regardless. Like I like very seldom I have to turn down a show because I'm working. Like it just seems to kind of work somehow.
Yeah, no, look, I think as well, when you do something you love, like you don't feel like you're working far too much. Is not the case, really.
Yeah, exactly. Like I mean, I could work like one of my weeks could be Monday to Saturday doing the veterinary nursing, and then I could have a show on the Sunday, and I could be gone from 7 o'clock that morning, and I'd be back at 9 o'clock that night. But I wouldn't feel like I'm at work. Like it's different because you're outside and you're meeting people, and you kind of have the freedom to like kind of walk around and like go to different areas of like the arena or whatever. And I don't know, it's just kind of, yeah, it's really good. Like I do.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Like sometimes I'd be doing stuff like even just like content creation, and it's like it's fun, and it's like you were working till like 10 o'clock at night. I was like, but no, I didn't feel like that. I was making something cool. So your page, right? So you have a fair, like, decent following on your page, Ed the Dun. Can you explain a little bit about the page and how you set it up?
So I originally set it up. So I have Ed nearly 8 years. So I set it up about 7.5 years ago when I got him, because I was posting so much on my normal Instagram page, like my personal page, and it was nearly kind of turning into like a horsey Instagram page. And I was like, people are just probably going to get annoyed by this. So I made like a horsey page for Ed. Um, didn't have any followers, like, you know, it was just kind of just post my own pictures and stuff, and to kind of like, I'm always afraid that I'm going to lose my pictures if I don't post them somewhere. So like if I have an Instagram page, I can always just go back and save the pictures or whatever. But it was kind of just to document like how we got on and stuff, and like looking back on memories and all that.
And how's that grown then from when you originally set it up?
It has, I'm still kind of in disbelief that people are actually like following me, like whether that be like 2 people or like a few hundred people or a few thousand people. So it's a bit surreal, really. I didn't really think it was going to kick off, because that wasn't my aim at all for it to kind of kick off. It was just to document my own kind of journey and stuff. So it was, yeah, it was really cool.
What was it like, or was there like a single post or a certain time when it just started taking off? Like, can you pinpoint it, or was it just like a gradual kind of growth?
It was just kind of a gradual growth. I can't really put my finger on it. It just kind of just started growing. Like I didn't really notice it kind of taking off, but then all of a sudden I kind of just grew out of nowhere.
And how have you found it being like that kind of person with a lot of followers? You know, do you find that you've had any, you know, like any, like, not even negative feedback, but feedback in general from people? Like, do you find like anyone, and also sometimes obviously Irish people can be a bit begrudgery as well. So just kind of, have you noticed anything like that from the growth of your page, or has it kind of always been the same?
It's always kind of been the same, really. Like the only difference I can say is like I could be at, like I was at the Sandstorm event in January, and a few people came up to me and they were like, "Are you on?" Be like, "Yeah." They're like, "What's your name on it?" And I tell them like it's Ed the Dun. They're like, I knew I recognized you." So it's like positive stuff. I'm very lucky that I haven't really had any negative feedback or anything, or like nothing was said to me anyways. So I'm really lucky in that way. It's all been kind of positive stuff.
Yeah, it's wild when that happens, though, isn't it? When someone's like, "Are you from Instagram?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I'm kind of like, "Why are you asking me?" And then I'm like, "Oh yeah, I have a page," but like you don't really think that people would recognize you either.
Yeah, it kind of like, I don't know, like you see the number, but the number doesn't seem real. And then out of the blue, someone will be like, "Oh, you're that person from Instagram." And you're like, "Wait, I am that person from Instagram."
It's strange.
I have people as well who are like, sometimes, like, say I joined rugby recently, and one of them turned around and was like, "I didn't know you were Insta famous." I was like, "I am not Insta famous."
Oh my god, you're like horsey Insta famous, and I'm like, no, I'm not.
Well, in fairness, the amount of followers you have as an equestrian in Ireland, you definitely are.
I don't feel like it.
So, like, are most of your followers like local based, or do you have them from around the world, or do you know, or do you even check?
Um, the last time I checked, I haven't checked now in probably like a year, I'd say. But the last time I checked, it was all mostly Irish. And then like it was kind of like Irish, and then like English, and then not really a lot like for the rest of the world. It's kind of like mainly Ireland and the UK.
That's good as well, because, you know, like, that's probably what, like, you know, you're kind of relatable to them, and
Exactly.
it's bringing them in. So what kind of things, so if someone comes onto your page, what kind of things can they expect to find?
Ooh, well, I'd say a lot of Ed, a lot of Ed content. Um, a lot of I really like sharing like what brands and stuff I like. I have a bit of a shopping addiction, so I do post a lot of like products and stuff, and yeah, just like random chit chat as well throughout the day, like not even horsey stuff, just random stuff.
Yeah. So, okay, we're going to have to talk about Ed, since how he is the name of the page. Tell us all about Ed, like what you do, where'd you get him, everything. We want to hear everything about him. And he's a dun, which is like a beautiful color.
So yeah, Ed the Dun got his name from his color. It's actually really funny. This is like completely like nothing to do with what you just asked me, but it just came into my head there about Ed the Dun. I was riding him one day and he just came back into work. It was like 3 or 4 years ago, and my friend Zoe, who's at the yard as well, her little daughter was there, and she was riding a little pony. I think she was on the leader in, and Ed was really, really fresh, and he booked me off anyways. And Grace was like, is that why his name is Ed the Done? Because he was just so done. It's so funny. So that's not how he got his name. He got his name. That just my head.
Don't have a reputation for doing that.
He's actually only done it once, so it was just like 6 or something at the time as well, so it was very funny. But anyways, yeah, Ed is he's 15 too. He's a Connemara cross with thoroughbred. You'd never think there's any thoroughbred in there at all. It's all. He is, what age is he this year? He's 13 this year. And his registered name is Lakeview Golden Boy, which is actually really cool because I didn't pick that name. That's the name he had when I got him, but there's actually a lake at the back of my house as well. So I was like, oh, it's meant to be. And I got him really local. So I found him on a horsey website. I can't remember what it was called. I don't think it exists anymore. But I was looking for a horse at the time. I was doing lessons and I was kind of like, okay, I can't really progress anymore unless I kind of get my own horse. I was kind of at that stage. So did a bit of looking around, came across him, wasn't looking for a dun at the time. At the time, duns weren't really, they were just kind of, I wouldn't, not normal, but kind of now they're really like in demand and stuff, and like palominos and stuff, but they were just kind of like a normal like bay or grey or whatever.
Just for anyone who doesn't know, what colour would you describe a dun as? Just if they're non-equestrian and they're kind of interested in the story.
So a dun would be like a golden coat and like a black mane and tail. They're very pretty. So yeah, saw that he was up for sale, messaged the lady that had him. She said that he was actually on trial at the moment. So I was like, oh, he's probably sold. So kept looking for other horses, didn't really come across, saw a few, but didn't really see any that kind of suited. Saw he was back up for sale. He was on Dundeel this time. And I was like, oh, he's back up for sale. So I messaged the owner again and she was like, oh yeah, the trial didn't work out. Like, do you want to come up and view him or whatever? So went up the first day. My mum fell in love with them. She's not horsey at all. Like not like she wouldn't know what a dun is and she wouldn't know the difference between like a pony and a horse.
Oh, my mum did.
Yeah. So she was like, oh my god, he's so like, you need to have him. And I ridden him at that stage. But rode him anyways, and brought my friend Sandra with me. She is like really experienced with horses and stuff. So I was like, need to bring someone kind of like that knows their stuff. So popped over a few fences and stuff. He was great, loved him. Stopped when I asked him to stop. Went when I told him to go. Felt so safe, and he was only 5 at the time as well. But he was just so like, he's such a like so mature for his age. Even though he hadn't done like an awful lot either. But he was just so like lovely natured and stuff. Went back, I think it was 2 days later to try him again because it was my first horse. So I was like, okay, I kind of want to try him like a few times just to make sure it is the one, because it's a big commitment, especially with your first horse. So that was the day then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna buy him now, and got him vetted and stuff. All went well. Took him home then. I can't remember when it was. Maybe it was the next day. No, it was the same day actually. I think he got vetted. Yeah, it was the same day. And brought him home that day. And I've had him for 7.5 years now, and I haven't looked back. Or just haven't back.
You're not allowed now. He's your Instagram page name.
I know, yeah, there's no getting rid of him.
Yeah. What was it like that first time bringing him home and going, wow, this is actually my horse?
It was so weird. It was just because I was 21 at the time, and I was like, this is my dream come true. But I was also so scared because, like, you hear horror stories of horses being doped and stuff, and I was like, oh, what if like doped and I go up on him now and he tries to kill him? But no, he was not doped, and I actually got him really local. He was only like 20 minutes down the road. So I'm really lucky with that. Yeah, so yeah, just lucky with him in general.
Yeah. And I suppose, how long had you been riding before you got a horse? Because I think a lot of people kind of assume almost when you're riding, you just get a horse, but it doesn't always go that way, does it?
No, it doesn't go that way at the time even. I started riding when I was 7. My mum's friends had ponies, so I kind of just go over to them and I sit on the pony and stuff. And then I started doing lessons for my 8th birthday in the riding school. It's actually the riding school where I have him on livery, so I've been at that yard for like
ever.
Trying to do the maths.
20 years.
Yeah, years, yeah. That's, oh my God, I feel so old now.
Yeah, no, don't worry. That just gets worse and worse the older you get. So what has the journey been like with Ed? What do you do? What are your plans with him? You know?
So we are happy hackers. We do a bit of riding club, fun stuff. I'd be quite nervous at jumping and stuff, so I kind of like to do more dressage, and I do like to jump as well when I'm feeling brave, and that's my aim for this year, is to jump more so I get a bit more confidence. So kind of, yeah, we love hacking, absolutely love hacking. Would hack until the cows come home. We've done eventing. He really likes eventing, really likes the cross country, and I love it as well. So we kind of just do a little bit of everything. We've done polo as well in the past. We did it for a ride.
Wow.
That was really fun.
How did you find that? Because polo is probably one of the lesser known kind of equestrian sports, especially in Ireland because it's so small.
Yeah, like I don't hear of anyone in Ireland doing it. But we just did it one day for the crack. They ordered in like I don't know what they're called, the polo sticks. I'm sure they have a proper name to them, but I think they were too small for us. I think they were the wrong size. So it was actually quite hard because we really had to bend down. Thankfully Ed is 15 too, so he's not like a giant, but it was still kind of hard. But we kind of, now it probably didn't look great, us trying to play it and like missing the ball. That probably has a proper name as well, but you know what I mean.
That's all right.
Fun.
Yeah. Are we like galloping around, or was it really like just trot past trying to hit it?
It was more so of a walk.
Yeah.
Gosh, but that was pretty.
I can like absolutely imagine myself going past it even in a walk and still missing.
Oh, I was still missing. We were all missing. To be honest, we were all as bad as one another. But the horses were really well behaved because we were all like, nobody had ever done anything like that. So we're like, this could go awful. You know the way horses can be, but they were all angels.
That's really good. Like, because normally like it's in that kind of environment, the horses can wind each other up, can't they?
Yeah, exactly. Because there was maybe like 6, 8, 10 of us. And then when there's like sticks flying and you know, you hear the noise of the bits and stuff. But the horses were great, and we had so much fun. It was, honestly, I'd love to do it again sometime.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I'd love if there was like an event organized, even like, you know, I'm sure there is like Polo Ireland, where they did like some open day like that. That would be really cool.
Yeah, we should get on to that now.
Right, we're going to start polo. I need to borrow a horse, and we'll get some sticks, and we'll hope for the best.
Yeah, exactly. Go from there.
So, with your as well, like your page and everything like that, like, do you have any goals with that? Are you aiming to grow it more, or are you just kind of having fun and see what happens?
I'm kind of just having fun, to be honest. Like, I don't really care about the followers. Like, I'm delighted that people are following me. Have the account for to have like a certain amount of followers, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm delighted that people follow me, and like I'm still kind of in disbelief that so many people follow me. But as for like growth, I'm nearly at 15,000 followers, which is unbelievable. So I'm doing a giveaway as well. So once I reach 15,000, I'll be doing the winner of the giveaway. But other than that, it's just for documenting my stuff. And if people want to follow me, and if they don't want to follow me, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it.
The best is I don't think I've had these people, but you do get the odd time, like, you know, someone will be like, you know, when you see about people on internet going, I'm going to unfollow you because I don't like you. You're like, okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah.
I haven't had that happen to me now, but like every time I read something like that, I'm like, I'm sure they're devastated.
I know, yeah, you never say it to someone's face.
Absolutely not. The giveaway though, that's a really cool idea. So do you want to actually even like tell people like what's involved in the giveaway? Because let's help you get to that 15k. I want some of the stuff. It's great.
So I'm a brand ambassador for some amazing companies. So there's Mackie, there is TRI, and they're at Sandstorm. So I'm doing a giveaway with them, and so they've all donated some absolutely amazing prizes. I'm so thankful and grateful that they even considered it. So it's just a like and share post, tag your friends, and make sure you announce and stuff. So really excited to announce that giveaway because I've never done a giveaway before. So this is really big for me. So I'm really
decide to do the giveaway.
I don't really know. I just kind of got a notion, and I was like, you know what? I think because people follow me, like I deserve to give them something back. But yeah, I just kind of want to make someone just really happy because they're amazing gifts. Like, want to make someone's day.
You'll have to go over to her page to find out what the gifts are. We're not actually going to tell you what they are.
Your friends.
So becoming a brand ambassador as well, that's obviously a big thing. Do you find, like, how has that happened for you? Has it been the brands reaching out for you? Have you contacted brands? Or like, what's the process of that for anyone who is kind of interested in maybe going down this route? Like, as I said, you kind of done your own thing and it's come that way. But if someone who wanted to like maybe be involved in that, like how would you, like, how does that work?
So I kind of just started posting, like whatever I posted was not because I wanted something off company. I just posted because I genuinely loved it, and I still do that now. I never post anything that I don't really like. I'm just not that kind of a person. So it's all stuff that I love. So I was just kind of like posting bits and pieces and tagging the companies and just being like, oh, like I love this project. And then some companies just reached out to me and they were like, oh, would you like to be on our like brand ambassador team and stuff? And I'm just so lucky that they're like the most incredible companies as well, and I've made such good friends with everyone that I work with as well.
And so, okay, when it came to the giveaway, right, was it a case of you decided to go to the brands and go, hey, I want to do this thing? Or did they come to you, or what was that kind of conversation like?
So I just them individually and I was like, you don't have to. I was like, you don't even have to consider it. If you want to say no, say no. I was like, but I'm doing a giveaway. I'd love for you guys to be involved because your products are so amazing. Like, I'd love for someone else to see how amazing your products are if they haven't already used them or tried them. And thankfully they were just so nice about it, and they all said they'd give something. So very lucky. So if you look at the post, it has everything that's included in the giveaway.
As well, I shows as well, if you're willing to just ask a question, a lot of things go well, you know.
Like a simple question goes a long way. The worst someone can say is no. So you have nothing to lose. Like,
do you find that's something you would do in like general life when it comes to like day to day?
Probably not. It depends. As I said, I'm quite shy. If people know me, they will know that I am very shy. Kind of not really in the horsey world though. So a lot of the time I probably wouldn't unless I really need to. I really need to get better at that though.
Yeah. And have you any plans or anything that you're going to do to make that happen?
Haven't really thought about any plans, but I should probably think about something, and I'm definitely going to get working on it. It should be my New Year's resolution, even though it's like nearly March now, but it's never too late.
But you know what it is? You're actually better off starting it now, because how many people, like, by the end of January have given up on their New Year's resolutions?
Oh, that's it. Like the gyms will be packed for like the month of January, and then it's like it goes into February, and like there's no one there.
Yeah. I work in gyms. I've seen it.
Yeah, exactly.
Firsthand. It's mad. Like, it's really interesting seeing it. Like, it's literally like by about Valentine's Day is when everyone starts to disappear, and then you'll get an influx just before summer, a little bit, but September is 2nd January.
Yeah, isn't it funny?
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, it's as soon as it kind of gets difficult that people decide, nah, I'm not gonna do it anymore.
Yeah, it's too hard. I'll just leave it.
Grant, I didn't want to be ripped anyway.
Yeah.
So, like, going forward, have you any big plans? Anything you want to talk about, or are you keeping it all quiet for the moment?
Don't really have any big plans as such. Nothing that's standing out. Anyways, it's kind of just the usual bits and pieces. Just need to get Ed to come back in now. I'm going to bring him in maybe the week after next. To bring him in from his winter break. Because we have a few bits coming up, like a few riding club shows and stuff, and I need to get the physio, I need to get the farrier, like I need to get everything done before they kind of start up. But that's pretty much it, really. Nothing major, just the usual bits and pieces.
Yeah, and how long has he been out for?
He has been out since November. I think it was like the middle of November. So he's been out for a few weeks or a few months even. It's just really hard to ride in the evening times because by the time I get back from work, it's pitch black and it's not really safe to ride in pitch black weather. And he's really happy living out as well, like, you know, for those few months as well. So it'd be different if he wasn't happy. If he wasn't happy, I'd 100% have him in, but he loves being out. So it kind of works for both of us. We both get a little bit of a break.
Yeah, that's fair. And also, like, I suppose you sort of describing the like dark evenings. Like, you've also got the sideways rain in the west of Ireland, so that doesn't help either, does it?
Yeah, a lot of rain, and like there's been so many storms as well. So I'm really happy that he hasn't been in this winter.
I'd say, like, how's he gotten on in those storms? Because if he's out like in the elements, do you find you're worried about them, or?
I've always been told and always heard that it's safer to have them out rather than in. So I was worried about him in the storm, and I was like, will I bring him in? But then I was like, no, if I bring him in, I'll probably jinx things and something will happen to him. So I was like, I'll just keep him out. He's with 2 other ponies, so he'll be okay. Was nearly sick to my stomach though when I realized how bad the storm was. So I went up to check them. As soon as the weather warning had like ended, the red one, I literally went straight down to check them, and they were all fine, like not a bother. It's right, nothing had happened, and like I was expecting them to be running around the place like stressed and scared and everything, but they were fine. I don't think they even realized there was a storm.
What's wrong with it? It's just a bit of wind.
Yeah, exactly, just a little bit of wind. Like they had plenty of shelter and stuff, but like then on my way down, I was like, oh, there's loads of like massive, you know, those massive big trees, like the oak trees. Like I saw 1 or 2 of them down, and I was like, oh my God, like the one in their field might be down, and then they won't have shelter. But no, they're absolutely fine.
Yeah. No, it's mad. Like, I suppose we do kind of like humanize them sometimes. They're like, they can't be like that, and they're just like, what's wrong with you?
Oh yeah, exactly. And sure, they couldn't care less.
So when you bring him in, like, he's had a couple of months off now, and getting him ready, like, what is the process like bringing him back into work and getting him ready to compete again?
So the first week he comes in, I don't really do anything. He gets a bath, he gets a good brush and stuff. I text the farrier, he comes out and does his feet and stuff. Following week then it's kind of starting to get into like a routine, so I'll start lunging him and stuff. I always say like 2 weeks and then I'll hop up, but I always end up lunging him for like 2 days, and then I'm like, oh no, I can't wait any longer. But this year I want to do a bit more lunging before I do get up, just to get him like a bit fit and just do little bits and pieces. Do a little bit of long lining. Long lining, isn't that what it's called? So for the first 2 weeks he'll kind of be coming into a routine, and then the week after that I'll probably start riding him and trying to get him like fit and to lose the winter weight and stuff. And then, so to be honest, it does take about a month to kind of get back riding like properly, not properly, but like getting there. And then to start lessons again and stuff once he's fit enough.
And you have like a show like in mind that this is the one I'm aiming for?
I normally do, but I actually haven't had a look yet to see. There is a show that's in May, but I do want to get out before May. But there's one show in May that that I really want to do, that I know I am going to do. But other than that, I need to sit down and have a look and see what's on. So I'd like to do one in April anyways, whether that be the start of April, the middle of April, the end of April. But April is the aim, so I'll have a look and see what's on.
Yeah. How important do you think it is, or would you say it is, to have a goal like that when you're bringing a horse back in, or riding in general?
I think it's motivation more than anything. It's like, okay, you can be so laxy daisy about bringing horses back into work, but if you have like a show in mind, you're like, okay, I actually do need to ride him, and I do need to exercise him, so he's going to be fit enough, and I need to learn the dressage test. And it for me anyways, I find that it really does help if I have just the first show organized and in my head.
Yeah, no, I agree. It is so easy to get into a routine of just like, I'm going to go, I'm going to walk, trot, I'm going to canter, I'm going to do a little circle, and then I'm going to walk him for 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it's so easy done. And to be honest, I was that until I started going to shows, and like I only got a trailer when like 2 years ago. So I only started going to shows then. So like whenever he'd come back into work like before that, that's all I was doing. I didn't have an aim, so I was really like laxy daisy bringing him back, and I was kind of like half doing it, so that kind of way.
Yeah. And I suppose with this kind of idea, have you any advice into how people can plan, or what they can, if they want to do something with their horse and they've just like nothing planned basically this year, have you any advice towards that?
I'd say to talk to your friends and see what they're doing, because that is the best motivation ever, because I feel like I am so more motivated than my friends about shows and stuff, because we're like, like we'll all go to this show and we're all gonna like, because like as I said, I'd be a bit nervous jumping. So like the girls at the yard are like, you're gonna do this show in May and you're gonna jump and you're gonna be fine for it. Like that's your aim. Like you're gonna jump at this show. So definitely talking to your friends and other liveries, or even like people on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. I think that's definitely a good help.
I suppose what you're saying is like, you know, getting in with a support system, like
Support system. Yeah, exactly. Definitely.
I like as well how you mentioned like Instagram and TikTok, because I suppose sometimes when people are at home or, you know, they mightn't be in a riding club, they might find it harder to find people to meet. But like, you know, there is really good communities. I know I like asked you, was there any negative before, but there are some really good communities and getting to know people on Instagram and TikTok as well.
Oh, there really is. Like if you're scrolling on TikTok, you're going to come across a horsey video, and if you look at the comments, there are people there like you. Always.
And you'll always find some Irish people as well.
Oh, they're always there.
You know, do you ever like be slow through videos and you're like, that's an Irish accent, I'm going to pay attention now.
Yeah, I'm going to follow that person, or I'm going to look at their comments.
Straight in.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that is pretty much everything I have to ask you, Lorraine. However, I do ask something at the end of every episode, and that is, what is the best advice you've ever been given?
Ooh, oh my God. Okay, the best advice I have ever been given.
That's the response I always get. It's great.
Oh, I've been given a lot of good advice, but I just can't think of. Do you know when you're put on the spot?
Yeah.
Best advice I've ever given is that there is nothing, words that I was told, there is nothing that you can't, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. That's the one.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Anything. Put your mind to it and you can achieve it.
Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree. And you know, it's a simple thing that if you can be reminded that, it's, you know, really like it can be really like it can change it, like change your life basically.
Yeah, all can, yeah. And all you just need to do is be positive and manifest.
Yeah. Okay, so before you go, I want to say thanks as well for joining us today. But where can everybody find you and find that competition as well?
Find me on my TikTok, not my TikTok, my Instagram, which is Ed the Dun. And my giveaway is pinned as well, so that should be easy to find.
Yeah. Are you on TikTok as well?
I am on TikTok, but to be honest, I don't really post on it. It's kind of, well, it's not really a personal page. I post a few videos and stuff, but it's not really there with the Instagram.
Yeah, fair. So, and as ever, guys, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok. So it is at Strong in the Saddle with an underscore at the end for Instagram, because someone beat me to it, and at Strong in the Saddle without the underscore on TikTok, because I got there first. And as well, you can find out more about working with me if you need to on my website. It's www.chrissyhawkins.com. So just want to say thanks again for joining today, Lorraine.
Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it.
I really do appreciate everybody who listens to this podcast. So if you please could help me with the algorithm and leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And even, you know, if you want to reach out and suggest topics for me, I'd be delighted to hear from you. Drop me a DM on Instagram or TikTok. And thanks again for listening.